Together, we believe that what the illusion of supremacy has destroyed, the truth of equality can nourish.
I promise you, it ain't nothing to be scared of. It's quick, and pass it right there next to you.
Yeah, but the biggest thing is getting your hair wet up. I got my hair pressed that same morning. It was wasted as soon as I hit the water. I should have worn a sun cap like Mama said.
See, I asked my mama, could she make my hair like Terrell Scott King had her that to watch the march. But she said that was too grown.
Oh, I love her hair. I heard she don't put rollers in it. It's just like that. But I studied. I know how she do it. See, she parts in the middle, and then...
The movie Selma tells the story of the struggle of Martin Luther King Jr. and his followers during the Civil Rights era. Set in 1964, the movie follows Dr. King and his tight-knit team of civil rights activists through the Selma to Montgomery marches for voting rights and paints a vivid picture of the plight of African Americans in the South during this historic era. Although the Civil Rights Act of 1964 outlawed discrimination based on race, poll taxes, literacy tests, and the threat of verbal or physical abuse still kept the vast majority of African Americans from voting, denying their fundamental democratic rights.
Anthony Cooper? Get on up now, I ain't got all day.
You work for Mr. Dunn down at the rest home, ain't that right?
Yes, sir.
Wonder what old Dunn will say when I tell him one of his gals down here stirring a fuss.
I ain't stirring no fuss. I'm just here trying to register to vote. It's all right this time.
It's right when I say it's right. Recite the Constitution's preamble. You know what a preamble is?
We the people of the United States, in order to form a more perfect union, establish justice, ensure domestic tranquility, provide for the common defense, promote the general welfare.
How many county judges in Alabama?
67.
Name them.
At the same time, state law enforcement agencies also participated in the dehumanization of African Americans in the South. In addition to upholding segregation, the justice system systematically turned a blind eye to racially motivated killings and hate crimes.
It's gonna be all right, okay? Act like you reading your menu, okay? Pops, it's all right, Mom. It's gonna be cool.
It's okay.
Jimmy Lee Jackson. Who murdered Jimmy Lee Jackson? We know a state trooper, acting under the orders of George Wallace, pointed the gun and pulled the trigger. But how many other fingers were on that trigger? Who murdered Jimmy Lee Jackson? Every white lawman who abuses the law to terrorize. Every white politician who feeds on prejudice and hatred. Every white preacher who preaches the Bible and stays silent before his white congregation. Who murdered Jimmy Lee Jackson? Every Negro man and woman who stands by without joining this fight as their brothers and sisters are humiliated, brutalized, and ripped from this earth.
At one point in the movie, agents of the government go so far as to violate King's right to privacy by leaving vulgar messages regarding his character on his private home phone in an attempt to turn his own family members against him.
I heard he was assaulted in Selma.
My information can be summed up in a few words. King is a political and moral degenerate. Mr. President, you know we can shut men with power down permanently and unequivocally.
I'm very aware of that, Mr. Director.
Well, if you'd prefer a different approach, we can go with the wife. We know there's tension in the home already. We can weaken the dynamic, dismantle the family.
With legal discrimination and private acts of violence rising in frequency and becoming more severe, marches and sit-ins are organized to demonstrate the need for drastic changes in the country. In response, Dr. King and his followers are denied and become victims of police brutality and arbitrary arrest.
Selma, a citadel defended by fanatics. The Selma courthouse, a perfect stage.
You're deliberately causing an obstruction. You don't disperse, you're gonna be arrested. I promise you.
Sheriff Clark, we're trying to gain access to the registration office, which is our legal right.
There's too many of you. You know damn well there is. Now y'all just gonna have to wait at the rear.
No, Sheriff Clark. We're going in the front. We're gonna wait right here. Segregation is now illegal in this country, sir.
Come on. Keep this sidewalk clear. Clear path. Get out of the way. Get out of the way. Get the hell out of the way. Keep the sidewalk clear. I said keep it clear.
Okay, we about to sit him down. He can't sit.
He needs to learn.
He gonna sit.
Sit down, goddamn.
Hey, Pop. I just told you he can't sit.
Well, what we got here? Hey, son, wait a minute. Hold. What's going on here, boy?
Jimmy.
What we got here? What we got?
Oh, Mama, I'm sick of this.
Jimmy,
don't do it.
Do you have a problem?
I'm sick of this. I just told you.
Jimmy,
What you think?
boy? What you think?
Jimmy.
What the fuck is this?
Listen, Jimmy, listen.
No.
I'm working. Black Get that nigger woman!
Get your hands off me!
$70 million people are watching this.
The first 10 or 20 Negroes were swept to the ground, screaming, arms and legs flying, packs and bags went skittering across the grassy divider. Those still on their feet retreated. A cheer went up from the white spectators lining the south side of the highway. The troopers continued pushing, using both the force of their bodies and the prodding of their nightsticks. Suddenly there was a sharp sound like a gunshot, and a gray cloud spewed over the troopers and the Negroes. But before the cloud hit it all, there were several seconds of unobstructed view. 15 or 20 nightsticks could be seen through the gas, flailing at the heads of the marchers. The Negroes cried out as they crowded together for protection, and the whites on the sidelines whooped and cheered. From the hospital came reports of victims suffering fractures of ribs, heads, arms, legs.
Throughout the struggle, Dr. King called on all Americans, regardless of race, to come together to fight the moral battle for equality.
We're gonna finish this. We promise you that, Miss Amelia. We go again.
Dr. King, we get a statement, sir. Dr. King, morning, doctor. We get a statement, please.
Morning. While rageful violence continues toward the unarmed people of Selma, while they are assaulted with tear gas and batons like an enemy in a war, no citizen of this country can call themselves blameless, for we all bear a responsibility for our fellow man. I am appealing to men and women of God and goodwill everywhere, white, black, and otherwise. If you believe all are created equal, come to Selma. Join us. Join our march against injustice and inhumanity. We need you to stand with us.
I speak tonight for the dignity of man and the destiny of democracy. At times, history and fate meet at a single time in a single place. So it was last week in Selma, Alabama. There, long-suffering men and women peacefully protested the denial of their rights as Americans. Rarely in any time does an issue lay bare the secret heart of America itself. The issue for equal rights for the American Negro is that issue. For this issue, many of them were brutally assaulted. There is no Negro problem. There is no Southern problem. There is only an American problem. The Constitution says that no person shall be kept from voting because of his race or color. To correct the denial of this fundamental right, this Wednesday, I will send to Congress a law designed to eliminate these illegal barriers. The bill will strike down voting restrictions,
in all elections, federal, state, and local. And we shall do this. We shall overcome.
Faced with extreme adversity, the men and women of the civil rights movement stood up courageously for what they knew to be right. Because of their sacrifices, America has moved closer to true equality and further away from the poisonous ideology of racism. Dr. King serves as an inspiration to all men and women for his contributions to universal human rights for all.
Our lives are not fully lived if we're not willing to die for those we love and for what we believe.